Hi Hyphen, I'm Hannah, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about keeping in touch. I know that it's difficult, it's kind of like a virtual fellowship, but there are some ways that we can stay connected. In Acts 2, verse 42, this is after this Acts chapter 2, right? The upper room experience, and then Peter preaches this dynamic message. This is where we get Acts 2:38, 3,000 plus souls get saved, they get baptized, and then right after that, it says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and prayer. So sharing meals and prayer. So they just got saved, they just got into this doctrine, and their two most important things in their life, what they're devoting themselves to, is learning more about this doctrine and fellowship. So we know that it's important, whether you're an extreme extrovert or an introvert, there's somebody in your life that you stay connected to. We know that it's important. But how do we stay connected during this time? So there's a few ways. The first way I want to talk about is Sanctuary Connect. And just stay with me. I know when you hear those words, you're like, okay, I'm out. I'm not going to be a part. That's kind of how I felt at first, if I'm being honest. So just hear me out. Let me tell you some reasons on why to please get involved in the Sanctuary Connect. If you did not receive an email, Sanctuary Connect is that you are mapped and you got an email with the 10 closest people near you. And you have their number, not their address, but just their email and their number, and you're able to reach out to them. So there's a few reasons why we're not doing that. One, we don't know them. It's a name and a number on your email, and you're like, I'm not reaching out to a stranger. Secondly, they haven't reached out to you. So if they didn't reach out to you, why reach out to them? Thirdly, you don't feel like you need the phone call. You have your friends, you have your family, you're fine. So they should be fine too. Why reach out to them? But I have this unique privilege of living with the pastor. I'm his daughter. So I'm there and I get to answer a few phone calls and stuff, and I get to hear a lot of stories. For example, also because I'm involved in the Power Hour, I'm calling a lot of parents. So just this week, I was talking to a mom, and she was just telling me that she just had to switch up her job hours, and so she works now from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m., and then her husband works from 6 a.m. or from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So they basically never get to see each other anymore because there's no childcare. She has to be home. So she's working till wee hours of the night, waking up, taking care of her kids, and then going to work. Another woman reached out today and spoke about how she's just dealing with severe depression. She lives in a neighborhood, she's working at home, it's just her, she's not married, and she's living in a neighborhood that's obviously not all apostolic, and so she is just battling severe depression. And then another example is we were trying to get all of these addresses, and so my dad sat me down, and I'm calling these names, and one of the men that I call, I'm like, hi, brother so-and-so, we don't have your address, we want to get you connected, we want to make sure that we're able to contact you. And he's like, oh, I would love that. Thank you. I look forward to the calls from my neighbors. We need to stay connected. He was super positive about it. And I'm like, can I have your wife's email? And he was like, oh, I don't know it by heart. I'm like, can you look it up? And I found out in that moment that this man is blind and he goes to our church, and I never knew that. And so he's on speaker, and my dad is behind, or like over there. I can see him. He's like, God. And so he walks over and he takes the phone and, hi, brother, blah, blah, I'm sorry about that. How are you doing? Do you need anything? So that was my experience. So there's a lot of reasons why someone might not have reached out to you. It could be a reason of medical reasons, or it could be they're exhausted, they're working so many hours trying to figure out this new life, or they're battling something emotional like depression. So don't just assume because they haven't reached out to you that you shouldn't reach out to them. They are waiting and longing for these phone calls. And a lot of times it's a little awkward. You don't know that person. You're reaching out to a stranger kind of. And we have to try to get past this mentality that it's about us. They don't reach out to us. We don't need a call. They don't need a call. It's not true. That name could be an elder that lives by themselves, their family's not able to reach out to them or visit them, and they would love for a 2-minute phone call from you. Little awkward. Hi, I'm Hannah. I don't know you, but we go to the same church. I just want to check on you. You're on my list. You're my neighbor. You're one of the 10. Would love to connect. Something that simple would really brighten up their day, and it will brighten up your day. So that's one way to stay connected, is through Sanctuary Connect. So I really challenge you to really take courage and try to get involved. If you do not have that email, please let me know. I will gladly put you on it. Other ways is if you're not quarantining strictly, we do Power Hour. We film that every Wednesday night. And we do it sometimes for 3+ hours. It's exhausting, especially since a lot of the people that were involved in Power Hour are husbands and wives, and they're working like crazy. They can't come on a Wednesday night to my house and film. So if you're able, as a hyphen that has flexible hours, we would love for you to be a part. Another one is the homeless ministry is still doing homeless ministry. And I know with this quarantine, that's a little hard, but put your gloves on, put your mask on, and go help for 2 hours in the park just passing out food. These are ways that you can get involved if you're not strictly quarantining. Other ways that are more virtual is the prayer line. I know that that's like, okay, well, you just get on there and pray, but that's not true. You're on there, you're hearing other people's prayer requests. Sometimes it's, man, I need a new fridge. Pray that God gives me a new fridge. Oh, I actually have a fridge I can give them because this and this happened. You get to know people in the church that you've never talked to before because of their prayer request. Or, oh, I can pick that up for you. I can pick those groceries up for you. I live right there, right? So there's things on the prayer line that you hear testimonies and you hear prayer requests, and it's an incredible way to connect. You're not just on there praying and get off, but they have a moment for prayer requests and testimonies that you can get involved in. Another thing is every week we have a list of people that call the elders. So if that is something that interests you, or you're just wanting to pick up the phone and you get a list of elders every week, you can just, hey, how you doing? Just wanting to make sure you have toilet paper and you have and anything you need. And then you call us and say, hey, we need this, this, and this. All right, let's get it to them. And you can drive it to them. That's just staying connected with just our elders. Another way is the Zoom. I know the youth group would love to see your face. As a hyphen, these youth look up to you. So on Friday nights, if you just want to pop in for 30 minutes and say hi to the youth on Zoom, they have a Bible study. It's a lot of fun. They play games. You don't have to be on there the whole time, but that would be so encouraging for them. And beyond that, I encourage you to pick somebody in the youth group, connect with them. A lot of them are really, really struggling. They were used to going to school every day. Now they're doing school from home. A lot of them live in really serious home situations. Their families are not in church. I can list 5 youth right now where at least one of the parents are not in church, and it would mean so much to them if you just reached out. So little simple things like that, just 5-minute phone calls, even if it's like, wow, I've never done that before. Please, these are unprecedented times. This is the time. You're used to just high-fiving them on a Sunday, but we have to take that extra step and just give a phone call. Another way, I know it's hard to kind of witness right now. We're not going to work. But I just want to encourage you that a smile goes a long way. On the roads, at Walmart, people are really irritable. A lot of them do not have faith in God, or if they do, it's being questioned. A lot of their family members are being like, oh, how can you serve a God that would let something like this happen, right? They are being challenged every day. So you are shining brighter than you've ever shined. Whether you think that or not, whether they're asking you questions or not, whether you're giving Bible studies or not, your smile, your confidence, knowing that this isn't the end, right? That God has it all in control is huge. Have those conversations at work. Stay positive. Stay being that light. It's working. And just to close, I know that those were just little tips here and there, but 1 Corinthians 12:26 says, if one member suffers, all suffer together. If one member is honored, all rejoice together. Galatians 6:2. Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Hebrews 10:24-25. And let us consider how we may spur one another toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. John 13:34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. Meeting and loving looks a little different right now, but if we stick together and we stay connected and we do this together, it goes such a long way, and we're all going to be able to make it. I know we're going to get back together hopefully soon. Within the next month or so, we'll be back in our church services. I claim that. I hold on to that. But until then, people are struggling every day. And even if you're not the one necessarily struggling, reach out. Be that person. I challenge you to get involved and stay in Sanctuary Connect or in any way that you possibly can. I love you and I miss you, and stay connected.